Welcome to GeoVenture. Please like this video and subscribe for more journeys, and click the bell so you never miss an adventure. Why are some countries so rich, while others remain so poor? When you look at a map of the world, the differences are stark and undeniable. Some nations enjoy high standards of living, excellent healthcare, modern infrastructure, and widespread opportunities for citizens. In other nations, just a short flight away, people face daily struggles, poverty, disease, and a lack of basic services. Many simple answers are often given to explain this vast gap. People might blame geography, culture, the intelligence of the people, or assume wealth comes directly from resources like oil and diamonds. But these common ideas often fall apart under evidence. The real answers are more complex and more interesting. Many people automatically assume that a country's wealth comes from the ground, that nations with abundant oil, gas, diamonds, or fertile land are destined to be rich. After all, these resources can fetch high prices on world markets, bringing in a flood of money. Countries like Saudi Arabia and Kuwait seem to support this theory. In theory, resource income can build great cities, fund social programs, and provide a high standard of living. But the simple connection between resources and riches is a common myth. Step back, and the story unravels. Many resource-rich countries remain poor. Consider the Democratic Republic of Congo: cobalt, copper, diamonds, and gold. Yet it remains among the poorest, plagued by conflict and instability. Venezuela holds the largest proven oil reserves, yet its economy collapsed and people face severe hardship. Economists call this the resource curse. Wealth that should lift a nation can drag it down. Why? A sudden money surge creates problems. An overstrong currency, hurting manufacturing and agriculture. To understand why some countries are poor today, we must look far back. The past casts a long shadow. How countries were governed centuries ago still shapes the present. Colonialism played a major role in Africa, Asia, and Latin America. For centuries, vast territories were controlled from afar, to extract wealth for mother countries, not to develop locals. The type of colonial rule mattered. In places like Australia or Canada, institutions resembled those back home. Property rights, courts of law, and governance protecting settlers' investments and freedoms, settler colonies. Elsewhere, especially in parts of Africa and Latin America, extractive colonies formed, authoritarian systems designed for exploitation, often using forced labor and empowering a small elite to control people and resources like rubber, cotton, and minerals. Independence didn't wipe the slate clean. New governments inherited extractive structures. Power stayed concentrated, property for ordinary people remained insecure, and economies focused on raw exports over diverse industry. Arbitrary borders bred internal tensions and instability. Similar geographies can diverge. The US and Mexico share a frontier but develop different institutions. Korea's shared history and culture, then diverged in 1945. South toward markets and property rights, north toward rigid central control. Today's stark contrast shows how rules adopted even recently can reshape prosperity. If resources and geography aren't decisive, then what is? The most crucial factor is a country's institutions, not just buildings. They're the rules of the game shaping human interaction. Constitutions, laws, property rights, impartial courts, and public services. Formal and informal rules guiding daily life. Institutions create incentives for millions. Farmers, factory workers, entrepreneurs, and investors. If property rights are secure, you invest. Buy equipment, expand, hire, knowing you'll keep the rewards. If assets can be seized, you don't invest. You scramble for today. Good institutions are inclusive, protecting property, ensuring unbiased courts, and providing education and infrastructure. Inclusive politics, democracy, checks and balances, rule of law, support them. Extractive institutions enrich a few, stifle innovation, and keep nations poor, like modern North Korea and historically Zimbabwe. Institutions matter most, but geography and climate still count. Sea access, long coasts, and natural harbors lower trade costs. Landlocked mountainous states face higher ones. Temperate zones favor staple crops. Tropical regions often face poorer soils and storage challenges. Tropical diseases like malaria and dengue sap productivity, raise costs, and shorten lives. Geography isn't destiny. Infrastructure connects markets and reduces barriers. Technology like air conditioning made hot, humid places thrive. Singapore and the US South. Medicine cuts disease burdens where systems can deliver. The impact of geography depends on institutions. With good governance, Botswana invested diamond revenues in education and infrastructure. Extractive systems rarely do, turning geography into a larger barrier. Geography amplifies institutional quality rather than causing poverty by itself. Building human capital, the power of education, health, and technology. A country's greatest resource isn't underground. It's in the minds and health of its people. Human capital drives growth. Healthy, educated workers are more productive, innovative, and adaptable. Wealth is impossible where citizens are illiterate and sick. Spending on schools and healthcare isn't charity, it's investment in the future. Education enables complex tasks and new ideas. Literacy boosts farm productivity and quality in manufacturing. Massive investments from primary schools to universities powered rapid transformations. Technology drives productivity. Education turns the engine, STEAM to computers to smartphones. Tech diffusion works when people can use, adapt, and improve it. Health, education, and tech are interconnected. Progress needs all three at once to unlock potential and sustain growth for all. The global marketplace, how trade, debt, and rules shape nations. No country develops in a vacuum. Every nation sits in a system of trade, finance, and politics that affects fortunes. Trade lets countries specialize and lowers prices for consumers. Competition fosters innovation and productivity. Ideas and technologies also flow through trade, but rules aren't always fair. Rich country subsidies and tariffs can tilt markets, pushing poorer nations into raw commodity roles. Volatile prices destabilize single commodity economies. Aid helps in crises and targeted programs, but can also weaken accountability or prop up poor governance. Heavy debt burdens crowd out education, healthcare, and infrastructure, sometimes trapping countries in rollover cycles. Navigating these currents by improving institutions, negotiating better rules, and managing debt becomes critical to prosperity. The drain of corruption, how bad governance halts progress. Even with resources, location, and market access, corruption can hold a nation back. Corruption, abusing public office for private gain, taxes the whole economy and blocks development. It misdirects resources, undermines trust, and distorts incentives, scaring away investment. When rules are for sale, investors walk. Money flees to safe assets abroad. Public money vanishes, services fail, and citizens suffer. Trust erodes, compliance falls, instability rises. Fighting corruption is an economic necessity. Transparency, independent oversight, free press, and equal rule of law. Lasting prosperity demands systems that treat everyone, leaders included, by the same rules. The question of why some countries are rich and others poor has no single answer. Simple stories mislead. Resource-rich Congo is poor. Resource-poor Japan is rich. Same peninsula, different rules, radically different outcomes. Evidence points to institutions as the decisive factor. Inclusive institutions protect property, ensure fair law, provide services, and open economic and political life, creating incentives to invest, innovate, and learn. Extractive systems enrich a few and stall progress. Institutions can change. History shows determined reforms work over time. Build accountability and rule of law. invest in health and education, encourage competitive business.